Welcome to Pound for Pound, the MMA podcast. And now, coming to the mic, your host, Jalen Walker.
Test. Hello. Welcome to Pound for Pound, the MMA podcast. I'm your host, Jalen Walker. Oh, man, what a weekend of fights. UFC 253, outstanding. Just a great way to start off Abu Dhabi and Fight Island. But first, our guest today is a recent contender on Dana White's Contender series. He's currently on a 3-win streak. He's 11-2-0 with 1 no contest. He fights out of American Top Team. I'd like to welcome to the podcast Michael the Don Lombardo. All right, test. Hey, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, yeah, it was just your internet was just messing up, I think, a little bit, but I think you're fully in. But as I was saying, you're on a 3-win streak at 11-2-0 with 1 no contest, and you're fighting out of American Top Team, which is arguably one of the best gyms in the country, not of the world. And I just wanted to get your take on fighting with American Top Team and that whole environment out there.
Training in American Top Team is great, man. I've been there since I was an amateur. It's, in my opinion, it's the best gym in the world. I mean, there's a ton of world champions there, a ton of guys from every organization all around the world, a ton of guys that are up and coming that you haven't heard of yet. I mean, the competition is every single day. I mean, the competition is highest level as you possibly can get. And every day I feel like I get better.
Yeah, you got some of the likes of Jorge Masvidal, Tyron Woodley, Robbie Lawler coming out of that gym, and like you said, some new up-and-coming faces that could change the UFC, and not just the UFC, any mixed martial arts organization. And I think that's what makes American Top Team one of the best organizations, that they just have so much talent. But
no doubt about it.
Yeah. So you're from Jupiter, Florida. You have 4 TKOs, 2 subs. You have a great record in my eyes. Only flaws on your record are from Kyle, I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name, Dawkins, and David Mundo. But other than that, you have an amazing fight history. You know what I mean? You just fought on Contender Series. You fought on Contender Series twice, correct?
Yes.
Okay. The first time was last year, or was that season 2?
The first time was last year.
Okay, last year. Okay. We'll get into that. But yeah, you moved from welterweight. You moved to welterweight, correct? From 185?
Yes.
And that was earlier this year, or was that the end of 2019?
Yeah, so I lost on a Contender last year at a middleweight, and after that I dropped down to welterweight.
Okay. Do you like it more at welterweight?
Yeah, it's way better for me. I mean, when I was fighting middleweight, I was walking around the same size as I'm walking around now, which is right around 185. Just in the regional scene, I was getting away with it, but at the highest level, the size difference, I need to be like 170 is a good weight for me.
Understandable. Yeah, a lot of people have been fluctuating with their weights just because they want to be company men. They want to be able to take that call and get that weight immediately. So,
right.
Yeah.
I can take the call tomorrow, man. I mean, me making 170 is still no problem.
Yeah. I like that a lot. And that's what a lot of people like. Like, if you're ready to fight, that they're going to call you, get you in on a last notice fight. But yeah. So last go around in Contender Series, like I said, you lost to Kyle Dawkins via unanimous decision. You were very aggressive in that fight, but you kept denying most of the takedowns. You did take him down in the second round of that fight, but he kept threatening you with submissions. Has that fight since then helped you with your ground game and your takedown offense and defense?
You're talking about the Dawkins fight?
Yeah. When you got him down in the second round, but he just kept threatening you with submissions, and you couldn't fully get that full ground control on him. Has that fight helped you in the sense of your ground game?
I don't know. That fight helped me just as my overall MMA. So I guess, yeah, I mean, I lost that fight at the time. I just wasn't good enough. So I had to go back and I had to get better everywhere. And that's what I did, man. And I've won every fight since then. And I just won on a Contender again, like you guys know. So, I mean, yeah, that loss made me better everywhere.
Yeah, you had a great fight this past Contender series in my eyes. But does that first fight still have like a bitter taste in your mouth, or have you come to peace with it? Is it just something in the past now?
Um, I haven't really, I don't know, I haven't really come to, I'm in peace with it, I guess, but I just want to keep getting better, man. I don't want that feeling to come back again, so I'm just continue to get better every day and continue to take these guys out.
Awesome, awesome. Since you last competed on Contender Series, you defeated Justin Thornton at Rite of Passage 9, Jose Carcass at M1 Global, and one no contest, like we said, against Hugh Pulley. What happened with that no contest?
Well, the no contest, I was just to be honest, man, I was dominating the fight. He said I poked him in the eye
Mm.
in the second round, and he stopped, and he didn't want to continue to fight. I don't know, man. I mean, that's how it happened. They stopped the fight, so they said no contest. It is what it is, man. That's in the past. So I don't want to get into that too much. The
Yeah,
other guy I beat was Jose Caceres,
Caceres.
who is the only guy to ever beat Usman. He's very good. He's beaten a lot of top guys. Actually, he helped me train for this past fight in the Contender. He's a great guy, man. He helped me a ton, and I have nothing but good things to say about him.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So this being your second time on Contender Series, was it easier this time going around, knowing what to expect, or was the atmosphere completely different with the pandemic?
No, it was the same. It was
Okay.
the same. It was definitely, it was a little bit better. I was a little bit more used to, the whole like walking into a completely empty arena, and it's real quiet. It's quiet in there, man.
Yeah.
It's a different feeling, but it was a little better. I had a little more experience.
Yeah, we had Anthony Romero on the show a couple weeks ago, and he was saying it just took him off guard how quiet it was. Like, you can only hear the shutters and stuff like that. And I didn't know that they had the commentators not on the floor, which is insane to me. They're not actually out there, and you guys can't hear them, so that kind of threw me off a little bit. But it's interesting to
Right,
see your
right.
guys' perspectives from what's actually going on. What were you saying?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, man, once the fight starts, it's a fight. You don't really care about like who's watching this and that. Like you gotta be completely focused on the fight. But the walkout and stuff, like a little bit before, having done it once before, definitely helped me.
Awesome, awesome. All right, so for some people that don't know your fight on Week 7 Contender Series against Corey Cuppy, uh, it was a via unanimous decision, but you landed solid combinations a minute into the fight. Corey landed solid right hand moments later. You pushed him against the fence moments later, but his height appeared to keep giving you a few problems, just a little bit, which is understandable with his height and the difference. But halfway through the round, you were able to get him down. You started throwing big punches, which I thought were doing a lot of damage on him. I don't. From your perspective, do you think you were hurting him at that point when you got him to the ground the first time?
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. Listen, the honest truth is, I should have just stayed on top of him in that first round and just kept pounding him
Yeah.
out. But being on a Contender, I was like, I'm just gonna let this guy stand back up and try to put on like and it was stupid. That was stupid.
Yeah. But
I just got
you landed a huge elbow before he got back up though, with 90 seconds left. You
right,
landed a
right,
huge elbow.
right. Yeah, I should have just stuck with it. I should have stuck with it, and like I said, I let him up for a little bit, and after that, I went back down to taking him down and ground and pound.
Yeah. In my eyes, it looked like you were about to get out of that guillotine at the end of the round. Did he have that sunk in, or do you think you could have slipped out of it without the round stopping?
Nah, he wasn't gonna stop me.
Yeah. I didn't see it in your face. I didn't see it in your body. I didn't see anything like weakening or anything. So I knew, and with the bell, it was
It was,
just in your
it was
favor
tight.
too. What do you say?
No, it was tight. It was tight for sure, but I was gonna get out.
Yeah, yeah, understandable. But yeah, in the third round, you were able to grab a body lock and press him against the fence. Then you took him down and largely just grinding him out on the ground, doing a lot of damage. But he worked his way back to his feet in under a minute left. But you were able to take him back down immediately. The judges scored the fight 29-28, 29-28, 29-28. Were you happy with that decision, or were you looking for that walk-off finish or even a submission?
No, I'm not. I'm not happy with it. I'm always trying to finish the guy. Honestly, I'm not. I wasn't really happy about it. Like even when I went back to my like after the fight, like I just it, it was dominant. I dominated the guy for 3 rounds, I thought. But I'm always looking for the finish, man. So if I don't get the finish, I'm not happy.
Understandable, understandable. It looked like you and Corey said something to each other at the end of the second round. Do you remember what he said?
Yeah, he said something stupid. I actually don't remember exactly what he said. Um, Listen, I'm not really a fan of that guy, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm still not. But he's a tough guy, you know. He's really, like I said on the fight, he's a weird, awkward guy, and that's that.
Yeah, yeah, because it looked like it got you heated a little bit, and you came out with a lot more aggression. It looked like after that. Uh, but like I said, you weren't really. You said you weren't happy with the judges and or with their decision. You wanted to finish, but in my eyes, I love a fight that goes to decision. You got two guys grinding it out. I don't see anything wrong with that, but I do understand where you're coming from. Um, Ultimately, you were not awarded a UFC contract, but you are a highly skilled free agent. Correct? You're a free agent at the moment. You haven't signed with anybody recently.
Not yet, no.
Okay, okay. Have you been in contact with any other organizations, or are you looking to come back to the Contender Series in November?
No, I'm hoping for a short notice. They told me I'm on the high up on the short notice list, so just to
Nice.
stay ready, and that's what I'm gonna do. If someone pulls out, man, I'm ready to go on 1 day notice. I'm ready to step in there, and I'm ready to fill in and go.
Yeah, and that's happened before. And I think that's a great place to be in, to be honest with you, because that like when you step into a fight on a short notice and say you beat the guy, that looks amazing for you. And I'm pretty sure that you look like you're fit all the time. You're always in shape. You're ready to fight from your attitude. It sounds like so. I think that could be a huge stepping stone for you in that aspect if you just get called in and just go put some guy to sleep.
Yeah, without a doubt, man. I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to fight right now. I got right back into the gym. I'm in shape. I'm on weight. So, man, just waiting for the call.
Heck yeah, man. That's awesome. I thought you had an amazing fight. I think you're a very talented athlete, very entertaining. I wanted to talk to you about your before let you get out of here because I know you have to go. I wanted
Mhm.
to talk to you about your time. Just that American Top Team. Is your head coach Ricardo? Is it Ricardo or is it a different head coach?
The head coach down at Coconut Creek. There's a bunch of coaches. I don't
Mm-hmm.
really know who's the head coach.
Yeah. Okay,
There's
so
a
you're at
lot
the
of coaches,
Coconut
but
Creek location.
yeah.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Um, who's all down there? How many fighters do you got in that location? And are you guys all training together? Are you guys separated? How's that flow working?
Everybody's down there, bro.
Everybody.
Like whoever says, they're training out of America Top Team is there. The coaches I work with the most are Mike Brown,
Mike
Steve
Brown, okay.
Mocco, Dave Zitnick's my head coach, Phil Williams. I have a few guys that I work with specifically, but as far as like big name fighters that you're talking about, everybody's down there.
That's awesome. Uh, I don't being down there with such top fighters, not even just the known fighters, just fighters like you're saying, these up and coming fighters, that has to be helping you just get better in yourself, seeing what they're doing, trading techniques, learning from each other, sparring. So that has to just be a great organization down there. And it reminds me of like Team Alpha Male, the same thing with like Uriah Faber. Like they're all down there, they're all working together, they're all trying to make each other better. They're not worried about if this guy's better than him. It's all about the organization prevailing to get that title. And that's what I love about American Top Team. And I think you guys represent it very well.
Yeah, 100%. At the end of the day, it's definitely an individual sport, but when you're down there training, you get a good couple training partners, which I have. You're definitely learning from each other, and even if it's just guys that you train with once or twice, because guys pop in and out of that gym all the time, you're always picking something new up.
Exactly, exactly. One more question I got for you. Out of everyone in the UFC welterweight rankings, who would you be most willing to fight? Who do you want to fight?
I want to fight Usman because Usman's the champ. But
Exactly.
hey,
I like it.
I'm not in the spot. I'm not in the spot to call that guy out yet. He's great, and I have to go out and I got to get some more wins. But that's what I'm always looking for. I'm looking for who's the best in the world, and that's that.
Do you see any flaws in Usman's fighting style that you could exploit?
Yeah, I see some flaws, but I'm not gonna really say it right
Yeah,
now.
understandable.
Um, Listen, he's good everywhere though. That guy's that guy's obviously the champion of the world. So I'm not going to sit here and talk bad about him, but that's who my eyes are always going to be. Who's the champion? That's who I'm chasing. And I got to take some guys out before then, though.
Understandable. Well, I do want to thank you. I know this had to be a short interview because you got a tight schedule, but I do appreciate you coming on. It's great talking to you, and hopefully, if you get a short notice fight or something, we'll get you back on here and have a real nice interview and get to know you a little bit more. But I do appreciate you coming on, ladies and gentlemen. Michael the Don Lombardo. Thank you, man.
I appreciate it, bro.
Awesome. Have a nice day.
You too, man.
All right, that was Michael the Don Lombardo. Great fighter. Had a wonderful fight on Contender Series. He couldn't stick around long. We've been trying to get this interview in. But yeah, I just want to thank him for coming on. We're not going to keep you guys that much longer. I just want to go over UFC 253. Actually, I'm going to go over Covington versus Woodley first because we didn't cover this yet. Colby Covington defeated Tyron Woodley round 5 with a TKO. Honestly, Colby did look kind of impressive. Tyron Woodley, I honestly don't know what's going on with him. It's really upsetting to see him lose 15 rounds in a row in his last 3 fights. It's just something you got to bite your tongue and just hope for the best, to be honest. But at this point, if he loses another one, I think it might be time for him to call it quits. But that's not for me to decide. But just from what I've seen with Colby Covington versus Tyron Woodley, and I'm not the biggest Covington fan, but I do got to give him props. He did fight a good fight, a much better fight than he did against Usman, which some people think he was winning that fight against Usman, but Usman put Colby down. But yeah, it was a great fight. Congrats to Colby, and I do wish the best for Tyron. He did break a rib from the ground wrestling from Colby Covington, so hope the best for his recovery. That co-main event was a heck of a fight. Donald Cerrone versus Nico Price. Wow. First of all, draw. 3 rounds of a draw. These guys were going at it. Non-stop punches to the face, pushing forward, not really stepping back, being aggressive with each other. I would love to see this fight ran back. Nico Price has tons of respect for Donald Cerrone, and Donald Cerrone has tons of respect for Nico Price. Afterwards, they shared a moment. It was just talking about their ranches and stuff, and Nico Price told Donald Cerrone, "I want to be just like you," and I think that took Donald Cerrone off guard, and I think he was very humbled by that. So shout out to Nico Price and Donald Cerrone on a fantastic fight. Fantastic fight. Now, arguably the best fight of the night and the shortest fight of the night, Khamzat versus Gerald Meerschaert. Holy crap. 17-second knockout in the middleweight. Khamzat just fought in welterweight, beat the guy. I don't know the exact stats, but in Khamzat's last 2 fights, he has been hit twice and has thrown 189 connecting strikes. That's absurd. He's been hit twice. This is insane. This is something that we don't see a lot in UFC, and when you do see it, you get real excited. And I think Khamzat could be one of the best fighters to come through the UFC, especially at middleweight. So Adesanya, he's going to have to watch out for this guy. I'm telling you, I'm predicting that Khamzat has the potential to be a 2 to 3 time division champion. I honestly believe middle, welter, and wherever else he would like to go, because this guy is unstoppable. Other fights that night, we had a great fight from Johnny Walker, TKO against Ryan Spann. Phenomenal fight. Mackenzie Dern, submission round 1 against Ronda Marcos. And then a decision win for Kevin Holland against Darren Stewart of a 3-round bout. Good fight. But like I said, that Khamzat knockout just took the show for me. And then that Donald Cerrone fight against Nico Price, what a banger. Wonderful fights. And that was September 19th, so that was 2 weeks ago. This past Saturday, UFC 253. I know you guys saw it. I hope you saw it. If you haven't saw it, figure out how to see it. Those fights, absolutely amazing. First off, we'll start off with the first fight of the night on the main card, Hakeem Dawodu. Man, I posted a video on my Twitter of Hakeem and Zabaria was backing up, and he kept saying, "Stop backing up. Let's fight. Let's effing go. Let's fight." Hakeem, he wanted to brawl. Zabario kept running. I don't know what was going on. I don't think he could stand with that power. I have no idea. But Hakeem took the win. Round 3, a decision. He apologized afterwards for raising his temper, but I think it's all good. I love to see that type of stuff. I love to see fighters really get that emotion out of them and really push and try to get the other fighter and try to bait him in. Yeah, great fight. Ketlin Vieira won decision in round 3 against Sajara Eubanks. I had Eubanks. Kind of surprised she lost. It's a great fight. It put Ketlin at 11-1 and Eubanks at 7-5. But all around great women's bantamweight fight. And up after them was Adesanya's teammate Kai Kara-France versus Brandon Royval. Oh man, this fight to start out was insane. So it starts out with Kai Kara-France getting backed up, and I believe Brandon Royval threw the first punch, put him on one knee. Brandon Royval got up, did a spinning elbow, hit Kai Kara-France, put him down. So it was just back-to-back knockouts out of nowhere. And then the fight kind of started to settle in. Some big punches from both sides. But unfortunately for Kai Kara-France, in round 2, Brandon Royval got the submission against him. Unfortunate for Kai Kara-France, Adesanya's teammate at a City Kickboxing, but what a fight. That from both, they should not be upset. Just from the moment the bell rang, they were off. They were ready to get it. Now, the co-main event kind of threw me away, kind of threw me off. Very, very interesting. Very, 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 very interesting. We have a new champ. Jan Blachowicz against Dominic Reyes. Jan knocked Dominic Reyes out in the second round with a beautiful punch. You got to give it to this man. Has some stopping power. Like some people said, oh, John Jones will put Jan to sleep. All this. No. Jan can stand on his own, and I think this man could be the next best light heavyweight champ at the moment. We're going to get into what John Jones tweeted out in a second after I go over the Adesanya fight. But in my eyes, what John Jones is doing is it's a little whack, to be honest. I don't appreciate it. I don't like what he's doing. He's playing cat and mouse with people. We'll come right back to that. But again, Jan, what a fight, man. To put out Dominic Reyes, someone who almost beat John Jones in the decision, impressive. Very, very, very impressive. And now that main event, Israel Adesanya versus Paulo Costa. Holy crap. The style bender did not let us down. 20-0 gave Costa his first loss, putting him at 13-1. Man, Israel Adesanya was tearing up Paulo's left knee and calf. Every strike he was throwing from the kick was landing exceptionally well. Israel was in and out of the pocket, striking like lightning. He's so quick. He's so fast. I was telling one of my friends, his leg kicks are so quick, the shutter speed from the cameras are hardly picking them up. Like, people don't understand what it's actually like. Like, you'll see it on TV and you might think, oh, that's a nice kick. But you can hear it in the announcers' voices like, wow, because they can actually see and hear how fast he's kicking. I mean, he hit Costa with one early in the second round. And honestly, I don't know how he stayed up. I don't know. It connected right above his ear. Costa's, he has a good chin, but I just think Adesanya, it was too much for him. He's too precise. He's too quick. He's a switch stance. Israel Adesanya is the entire package. And like I said, he's in. And how he got Costa, he was getting him with those leg kicks. And then after he got him with the leg kicks, Costa was so preoccupied with trying to guard his legs because a few more kicks, he's out. So Adesanya started going to the top, started going to the body. He hit him with a nasty right uppercut to the body, left hook, and then he came back and just put him out with the right to the left, and then just got on top and ground and pound. Some people are really upset with Adesanya because he was saying some sexual things after the fight. He humped Paulo Costa. He did a sexual gesture to his coach. I think just in the heat of the moment, there was just so much going on, and I just think he wanted to showboat I don't think people really should look into it that much. I think they should be focusing more on, holy shit, like, Israel Adesanya is the next big thing. Like, he is the big thing right now, but I feel he's going to be here for a long time. Only way I think Israel Adesanya's next big challenge, so he wants to fight Jaron, the Killer Gorilla, after he fights Robert Whitaker if he wins, which Adesanya thinks he will win. But I think Israel Adesanya's biggest contest is going to be Khamzat. If he stays in middleweight, Khamzat goes back and forth welter and middle, but if Khamzat gets that title shot, man, that might be the fight. I don't even want to say it yet. That fight would be nuts. I don't know how it will play out. I think it would be a wonderful fight. Khamzat versus Israel Adesanya. I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea. Literally, just no idea. It'd be almost as the same with the Stipe Miocic and Daniel Cormier fight. That third trilogy, I honestly didn't know what to expect going into that fight. Yeah, Adesanya, man, way to put Costa down in an impressive way. It was clean. There's no argument towards if he's the best in the middleweight division and the best in the world at middleweight, and I honestly think it is. Now, I didn't even want to say it in the show because I didn't even want to give it him the like I didn't even want to do it because it's just stupid. But John Jones has been out here tweeting, saying a whole bunch of stupid stuff on Twitter after UFC 253. First of all, he said to Jan, he was directing it towards Jan. He posted on Twitter right after the fight, "Hey, should I go back and get my belt right quick?" Who cares? Stick with heavyweight. You said you're going to go to heavyweight. Stay in that realm. Fight your way to the top and get that title fight against Stipe Miocic and have a wonderful heavyweight fight. Why are you toying with people saying, "Oh, let me go get my belt from light heavyweight"? You just resigned the belt because you just beat Dominic Reyes in a very close fight, but now you want to go back and fight Jan after he beats Dominic, but you wouldn't fight Jan before? Like, what are you doing, John Jones? Like, are you scared? Are you mentally messed up in the head? I honestly don't know, but I don't know what's going on with him. And then he had the audacity to say this about Adesanya after a wonderful victory over Paulo Costa. He said, "You stepped into the ring over 100 times now. You're still not ready? You have a youth advantage and like 4 times the fighting experience. The truth is you're already my pussy. You love being undefeated, and you've seen what happened to everyone else. It raises your stock to mention my name. You're aware of this. You don't want real confrontation with me. I'm just going to stand there and kickbox with you. I've been preparing for heavyweights. Right around now, I would literally tear one of your arms off." What is John Jones even talking about Adesanya for? Adesanya is in middleweight. Okay, if Adesanya can maybe gain a little weight and John Jones lose a little weight, it's not going to happen. We're not going to see Adesanya versus John Jones fight. It's just not going to happen. He's a troll. John Jones is getting very annoying lately, and I honestly don't appreciate what he's doing. Like, he just needs to shut up, train, and get ready for a heavyweight fight if he's going to be in heavyweight. And if he does want to come back to light heavyweight, let him come back. Let Jan beat him, because he's not beating Jan. Jan is disgusting. His knockout power is crazy. Only way Jones could beat that fight against Jan is if he gets him to the ground and puts him in a Kimura or an armbar or a standing guillotine. But even at that, I don't think Jan can finish Jan in the standing guillotine like he did. What's his name? I can't remember his name. I think John was avoiding Jan for a reason, because John knew the talent that he had and knew that, hey, either he's going to get the title or he's going to get it through me. And I think John got lucky with that Dominic Reyes fight, and then he just moved to heavyweight. But honestly, I think John Jones just needs to stop being a troll. I don't like it. A lot of people are getting really upset. He's not getting the best comments on Twitter. So I think in his best interest, he should just like let that go and just focus on his heavyweight fight. Because at this point, it's not looking too well. But other than that, I think Jan would beat John Jones 100%. And if somehow in a million years, Israel Adesanya and John Jones meet in a weight class, first of all, expect record-breaking pay-per-view. That's all you got to say. And just knowing that, the UFC will figure out some way to have it. So I won't even say a million years. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. It could happen here soon, but I don't see that happening. But to be honest with you, I think Adesanya can take John Jones. I honestly do. I think he could do some very, very slight work with him and take care of business. That would be an interesting fight. But like I said, John Jones needs to stop trolling. It's getting worse than Ben Askren, and Ben Askren was getting a little annoying on Twitter for a while. But on to some better news. We'll leave that in the past. But UFC 253, what a card. Last week, fight night with Colby Covington, I think that was the best fight night card we've had, and finishes, and altogether just around a great night. And then turn it around right the next week with UFC 253 and had outstanding back-to-back TKOs for the championship at light heavyweight and middleweight. But congratulations to Israel Adesanya, the last style bender, and Jan Blachowicz. What a fight from both of you guys. On to some more news. Conor McGregor and Dustin Diamond Poirier were recently talking on Twitter about a charity fight, which I'm all for this. This literally happened last night at 1 in the morning, or it was like 12 in the morning. I was just up, just doing some research and saw them on Twitter. Conor McGregor said, "Hey, bro, do you want to do an MMA charity fight? Zero to do with the UFC. I will donate $500,000 towards your charity for it. Sell it on pay-per-view or work a TV deal, and we work out other charities that are close to my heart also. I also engage in many strict charities. This will be an exhibition only. December 12th in the Point Depot, Ireland. No weigh-ins, open weight, unified rules. I will arrange all travel fare for you and your family. McGregor Sports Entertainment MMA in association with the Good Fight Foundation, which is Dustin Poirier's foundation. Charity Mixed Martial Arts." And then Dustin Poirier literally responded back, "I'm in. Let's do it. A lot of people will benefit from this. At the Good Fight FDN." I'm all for this. Conor, dude, you're raising some stock in my head. Like, that is awesome from you, dude. I think that's an amazing thing to do. I would rather see you fight in the UFC and put that record on the line, but I love this. Dustin Poirier is all about his charity. From New Orleans, he donates so much money. I know his fight with Khabib last fight, Khabib took Dustin Poirier's shirt. He sold it at an auction, gave all the money to Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier loves his charity, the Good Fight Foundation. And I think what Conor is proposed here is great entertainment and overall great hospitality and just wonderful, wonderful sportsmanship in the eyes of, in my eyes, to be honest with you. $500,000 could do a lot for Dustin Poirier's charity. And on top of that, he gets to display his skills in an exhibition of open way, mutual rules against Conor McGregor, arguably one of the best MMA fighters on this planet. This is a win-win for everybody. There's anybody that says this is stupid or whatever, just disregard them. This is awesome. This is what fighting is meant for. You know, if you can help someone in any way possible, do it. And Conor wants to reach out to Dustin, and I think that's just awesome. I think it'd be a great fight. Their fight before was amazing. But yeah, kudos to Conor McGregor. But yeah, I like it. Another thing I want to get into, Jan Blachowicz actually called out Daniel Cormier. And Daniel Cormier immediately came out and said, "Nah, I'm at my piece." And I think that's the greatest answer Daniel Cormier could have said. No reason to step up. No reason to go there. He's got his new promotional advertisement going on. He's now with the new vodka company. And if you haven't seen his new vodka commercial, it's pretty awesome. It talks about his fails and his triumphs in his career. And at the end it says something like, the man makes himself and we make his vodka. And it's just a cool commercial. And I'm happy for DC. I hope he starts getting picked up a lot more for commentating. He has a show with Ariel. But yeah, shout out to DC doing his thing. Another one, Leon Edwards rejected by Jorge Masvidal. He's still gunning for a top contender fight. Interesting. I still think Leon Edwards is the most underrated fighters in the UFC. This man is on an 8-0 streak. He hasn't lost in a while. What's going on here? I understand he was offered the fight before Jorge Masvidal against Usman at Fight Island, but he turned it down because he just didn't want to fight with a week's notice, which is completely understandable from his point, and I think logically smart. But yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Jorge Masvidal against Leon Edwards. I think that would be a phenomenal fight. I don't know why they're running away from that or not wanting it. I think Jorge Masvidal is dead set on fighting Nate Diaz for the BMF rematch, which is just a respect thing for Jorge Masvidal. It has nothing to do with the rankings or anything like that. He just wants to respect Nate Diaz and his promise to him that said, "Hey, we gonna run it back," which a lot of people look at as, I mean, that's a positive in my eyes. I would like to see that fight again. But in all honesty, the scar tissue above Nate Diaz's eye, it's just too bad at this point. I think he gets hit a couple more times in that spot. He gets hit a couple times in that spot again. That scar tissue's tearing open, and it's going to be the same situation over doctor stoppage. Unfortunately, Nate, his time might be coming to an end, especially with that scar tissue on that eye. It's just been building, and building up over the years, and it is unfortunate. It really is. But I think Jorge Masvidal is also interested in fighting Nick Diaz. I really think he wants to fight Nick Diaz at some point. I don't know what's going on with Jorge Masvidal. It's getting a little odd. I don't know why he's not trying to fight these top contenders fights. He still has it to take. I still think he has what it takes to be the champion. I'm a huge Masvidal fan. He's a great boxer, just all around amazing athlete. And I do hope he gets another title shot at some point. If it's against Usman, if it's not against Usman. But yeah. Another interesting topic that's been going around this week. Sorry, we're all over the place. This week has been insane for the UFC. Everything has just been popping off between John Jones, Adesanya, Daniel Cormier, all this crap. But Paulo Costa blast Israel Adesanya for his post-fight behavior, calling him human trash. I think someone's butthurt because he got clapped. Honestly, Adesanya, do your thing. If you're that good, you're that talented, do what you got to do. He dropped him with that short inside hook, and he followed up with that ground and pound. Adesanya could do whatever. He could run around the top of the cage for all I care after a win like that. Costa, just shut up, take the loss, move on. There's no reason for you to call out him saying he's human trash, because what are you going to do about it? There's nothing you can do. You put everything out there, and it wasn't even closely remotely enough. You're never going to get a rematch. So I don't know if he's just trying to do this to hopefully get Adesanya's boiling pumping so he can come out there and finish him again. But in my eyes, I think Costa should just be quiet. I really do. I really do. Also, I was gonna save this for last, but I think I need to say it now before I forget. Conor McGregor called out an SOS to Disney CEO Bob Chapek. He says, this is what Conor said. Conor has said he has asked for a fight 4 times since February. Which, in my eyes, I mean, you guys remember me talking a few weeks ago saying, why is Conor not at Fight Island? What's going on with Conor? He's healthy. He's not retired. What's going on? What is going on? I'm genuinely concerned now at this point. And now that he's asking for this exhibition match for charity against Dustin Poirier, I want to know if Conor's on like a bad terms with the UFC and the matchmakers. I know Conor is dead serious about this fight with Pacquiao next year. I don't know if you guys have heard about it. If this is your first time hearing about it, go ahead and look it up. But Pacquiao and Conor McGregor are in serious talks for a fight next year, and it is most likely going to happen. It's about 80% going to happen. But I don't think Conor understands Pacquiao. Pacquiao is going to beat Conor McGregor. I mean, come on. I mean, Floyd could have really, really beat Conor, but Pacquiao is a crazy fighter. He's going to let it go. And if Conor does knock out Pacquiao, it's not really that good for his career, because Pacquiao at his age, it is impressive, but at the same time, people are going to say it's not that impressive, because what are you actually accomplishing in beating Pacquiao, someone who's a boxer, you being one of the best mixed martial artists of all time? So I think the fight against Pacquiao will give him a lot of money, but in the long run, it's not going to be that good of an idea for him. But yeah, back into the decision to call out CEO of Disney for the SOS. Conor says he's been asking for 4 fights since February. In some ways, Conor McGregor's relationship with the UFC has never felt more on ice, to be honest with you. He's threatened retirement before. He's been suspended before. But he's even made a prior run to boxing, as we said. But I don't think Dana White and him are seeing eye to eye. He said everyone there knows, even the ladies, This is some cold stuff. He told you after UFC 253. He said he shared some tweets with Dana, just didn't really work out. Didn't really discuss what was actually discussed in those tweets. But he also said Dana White said showing their recent negotiations, he said Conor's asking for too much. It's just something you don't do at this time. It's one of the dirtiest things you can do. So I'm really confused on that whole situation with Conor and Dana White. I mean, they used to be best friends. Like Dana White used to. I mean, you all saw him like with the Mayweather tour. When Dana White got out there, it's the undisputed from Ireland, Conor. Like all that hype. Like I don't know what's going on. I honestly think Dana White's just tired of Conor McGregor's trash and his crap. I mean, he's retired 3 times in the last 3 years. Retired? He's not retiring. Retiring is when you withdraw from the USDA drug testing pool, like Daniel Cormier did. And as you see, when Daniel Cormier did that, he was pulled off the rankings completely. Conor McGregor's still in the rankings. He's still here. He's still an active UFC fighter. So I want to know what's actually going on. I want to know why Conor McGregor's being shut out. I don't know. But here we go. This is what McGregor said. I'd rather fight MMA anyway, McGregor wrote on his boxing plans. Not sure why I've been held back like this. It's borderline criminal at this stage. The biggest number generator in a game, asking for 4 fights since February this year and letting left on Reed. It's pretty messed up when I keep thinking about it. I've been right here this whole time. Bob Chapek, do you copy? I repeat, Bob Chapek, do you copy? So this could all be a publicity stunt. Dana's really not the type of person to come out and correct someone if they call him out on social media. He honestly just doesn't care. I mean, why would he? I mean, at the end of the day, if he's going to get a fight ready or done, he's going to get it done. So there has to be some backlying story around this. But Conor did post a picture of him fighting Floyd Mayweather the other day to hint that might happen again. Also with the Pacquiao thing, there's just too much going on in the world of McGregor right now for us to understand what can actually happen. Is he going to fight UFC again? Is he going to fight Pacquiao? Does he want to fight Mayweather again? Would Mayweather fight him again? Would it be beneficial? Would they sell as many pay-per-views? There's just so many questions at this point in time that it's honestly kind of giving me a headache. I've been thinking about it because it's like, dude, if it's really this big of a deal, why are you just now saying something you've been asking for 4 fights since February? Are you trying to just get people's attention? Like, what is actually going on here? But yeah, Bob Chapek, the CEO of Walt Disney, who they also own ESPN, and you know ESPN has that deal with UFC and all that. Bob Chapek took over for Bob Iger in February this year, and ESPN has been the Disney property since 1996. But while the sports news and broadcasting platform doesn't have any ownership stake in the UFC, as the promotion's sole North America's broadcast partner, both ESPN and Disney have shown surprising sway in Dana White's decision-making. So this is making me think, if there is something between Conor and Dana, I don't think Disney's going to question Dana. They're just not. Only time Disney and ESPN has ever stepped down on Dana was when they were trying to come back in that first fights after COVID or during COVID, when they wanted to do it in Florida. And they were going to do it like that month. I can't remember what month it was. I think it was April. It was like right after March Madness. It was going to be some absurd stuff. It was before Fight Island, and then they were going to go to Florida and all this. But they came to Dana White and said, hey, we got to shut you down. We really can't let you do these fights this month. Let's push for the next month. And Dana White understood. He didn't argue with him. And I just think that relationship between Dana White and the CEOs of Disney and ESPN, I think it's very tight. And no matter what Conor does, if there's some beef with him and Dana, he's going to have to figure it out with him and Dana. I don't know why he's calling the CEO of Disney. What's he going to do? What is the CEO of Disney going to do? Hey, Dana, I need you to put Conor on this fight right now. Like, no, that's not how it happens. He's not a matchmaker. People don't understand. Like, you can't just make a fight like that. It just doesn't happen. But yeah, I don't need to get into that anymore. I honestly hope Conor comes back. I hope he fights in the UFC again. Yeah, what a week. What the last 2 weeks. I didn't even hardly touch on a lot of the news. Um, but yeah, I oh, I'm just seeing this. Sorry. Khabib shuts down Ultimate Fighter new season with Conor McGregor. Wow, because they're bringing Ultimate Fighter back, and with Ultimate Fighter, there's two teams. You might remember when uh Conor McGregor choked out Cody Garbrandt or vice. I can't remember what happened. One of those ways. But their teams just weren't getting along, and they were butting heads. And Conor's in his Irish suit and all this. But wow, that would have been insane. Conor McGregor and Khabib as coaches for Ultimate Fighter of the new season. Man, I can't believe Khabib just turned this down. Wait, let me look at this before we go. He says it has nothing to do with Conor McGregor turning down a rematch in Ultimate Fighter. He says it's strictly business. Just doesn't want to be involved. That's very interesting. Man, that sucks. Conor McGregor and Khabib for Ultimate Fighter. That would have been awesome. Because I don't know if you guys know this, but in Ultimate Fighter, sometimes the coaches fight, and they might put it on a pay-per-view. They just because they butt heads so much during that season. Dana just makes them a fight too because they got the publicity from them and their two teams. It was just a great way back in the day to promote these fights and to promote these fighters and these coaches. But man, that really is upsetting. I really would have liked to see Khabib and Conor on Ultimate Fighter. I don't think there's a lot more else to talk about. We're less than a month away from possibly one of the best fights of all time, Khabib versus Justin Gaethje. We'll be talking about it a lot. These episodes Saturday, we're gonna have an episode. We'll talk about it more then. I'll get like a whole little plan out and see aspects from both sides. We got some great fights coming up. This Saturday, Holly Holm versus Irene Aldana, which is going to be an amazing bantamweight fight. Always great to see Holly Holm fight. That co-main event is Yorgan De Castro against Carlos Felipe. Yorgan is insanely strong. Both of these guys only have one loss on their record. And yeah, Jermaine Durandeman against Julian Pena. That fight's about to be nuts. I don't understand how that's not the co-main event, how that's not a main event fight. Jermaine is gonna. I'm speechless. I just don't understand how that fight is the third fight of the night and not a co-main. But it's all good. But yeah, I think that's it for me today, guys. I do appreciate you guys stopping in. Sorry it was a weird day, or on a weird day like Wednesday and not the Saturday. But yeah, we'll have more Saturday. We'll have the fight predictions for the Holly Holm versus Aldana fight, and of course the other fights on that card. But yeah, I think that's it for me. Appreciate you guys coming in. And have a nice day. This is Pound for Pound MMA podcast. I'm your host, Jalen Walker. Thanks.